of the Trevor Reporter. I guess not welcome, but whatever. You understand. You get the point. I'm going to be joined by a bunch of guests coming in and out in a second. But before we get into that, we got to get into Roe versus Wade, because with what's going on with Roe versus Wade, the hoes are mad. The hoes are big mad. The hoes are incredibly super duper ultra mega, not mega, ultra mega plus big mad. Let me just get the Odysee chat going right here. Stupid pink message thing right there. There we go. Never actually opened that on my phone before. All right, let us begin. Roe v. Wade has been overturned, and the hoes are mad. The hoes are big mad. The hoes are incredibly mad. I forgot to share screens, didn't I? Yep, that'll do it. That'll do it. Share system audio. There we go. Roe v. Wade has been overturned, and I'm very sorry for that trippy thing you had to experience earlier. And the hoes are mad. And you can read the thing down below. I'll have the show notes for the thing over on as part of segment 1 over on Odysee and Rumble and all that stuff, and everywhere else the Trevor Report goes. Monday's Trevor Report is going to be a bit more edited than I usually have it. It's going to be splicing together two separate things. I don't know. I'm new at this. But anyway, if you're watching this clipped part of it on the Trevor Report over on Monday, then you can see this in the description. It's the ruling. You could read it. I read like about 100 pages in. And I'm going to end up reading the rest of it by the end of the day, hopefully. But anyway, Barack Obama is one of the hoes that are mad. And the hoes are always mad. Today, the Supreme Court not only reversed a nearly 50 years of precedent, it regulated the most intensely personal decisions someone can make to the whims of politicians and ideologies, attacking the essential freedoms of millions of Americans. Well, the thing is, ho, that is currently mad. I was informed by people like you that the personal is political. So, okay, fine. Also, 50 years of precedent, you're going to appeal to tradition. Big yikes. You're going to appeal to the tradition of the murdering of babies. Big yikes, bro. But anyway, across the country, states have already passed laws restricting choice. You shouldn't have a choice to kill a human person, but whatever, fine. If you're looking for ways to respond, go to the go to Planned Parenthood. We're going to get into some things about Planned Parenthood in a second, and USO Women. And many other groups have been sounding the alarm on the issue for years and will continue to be on the front lines of this fight. Now, the thing is, the left has been engaging in acts of violent pillaging of working class communities, also known as riots. And one big little trouble with this is that, well, if you're on the left and you call for protests and you don't call for peace or explicitly say no violence, then it kind of sounds like you're asking people to violently pillage working class communities again, which big yikes. But anyway, even more hoes are mad, even more aristocrats. I know it says Hollywood, but I'd rather just use the proper term. On the overturning of Roe v. Wade, today's Supreme Court opinion will live in infamy. Please don't invoke World War II. Please, that's not... Anyway, the Obamas, Alyssa Milano, Patricia, French last name, and more have spoken out following the Supreme Court's decision to end constitutional protections for abortion that have had held in place for nearly 50 years. Yes, we have ended the murdering of babies. So terrible. The decision to overturn Roe v. Wade was made by the conservative majority in a 6-3 vote. I am sick and tired of hearing conservative and liberal majority. Okay, every article that says this. The Supreme Court is the Supreme Court. The reason the Supreme Court is not elected is because their role is to interpret the law. They are not politicians. Okay, it's why people on the Supreme Court give interviews very, very rarely, and probably a bunch of other things that people in the Supreme Court do that people in really high positions of government, like the presidency, Senate, Congress, and honestly, Merrick Garland, who we'll get into in a moment. There's a reason why the conservatives, the Supreme Court does not engage in politics a lot is because their role is to interpret the law. That's it. And they interpreted the law, and they said the Constitution does not protect the murdering of babies, because if it did, we're going to need a new Constitution if it permits the murdering of babies, because that's just not good. But anyway, there's this clip from I don't like to bring, but I was this clip because he essentially argues that people who are against babies are essentially no different than, or actually are worse than ISIS. I'm not kidding. He directly says this. Let's play the clip.
No, there is no end to what they will do, no end to what they want. There's a comparison that I often get in trouble for in the stream, but I want to get, and I want you to treat it without a hint of hyperbole, because there is none. There is an element of the Republican Party, the modern GOP, that makes them not only the most dangerous political force on earth today, which I believe without question, but also quite possibly the greatest in history. And I mean that.
You heard it right here. He says, without hyperbole, Republicans who are against the murdering of babies are the worst political force in the world, and potentially throughout all of human history. In other words, if you think murdering babies is bad, you're worse than ISIS. Oh God, I don't know how does he have hundreds of thousands of subscribers? How? I don't understand. It must be people who watch him unironically. It must be, but that's not all. AOC and a bunch of other people are saying the Supreme Court. The decision is illegitimate, is what they're saying over and over and over again. Look at the way AOC was smiling like that in the end. All right, when they're chanting take to the streets. Now, 2 years ago, they already caused billions of dollars worth of property damage in working class communities, and probably untold billions of dollars in just investment in these working class communities and just participation in these working class communities. No one wants to open up a business in a part of anywhere in the world that permitted itself to be violently pillaged like that. All right, but we're going to get more of these, because of course we are. Maxine Waters tells people to fight like hell. Fight the hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. Here's the thing. People are saying that this is a call for insurrection by Maxine Waters, which by the standards of our betters, with the Gen 6 Commission, it is a call for insurrection, according to the people who are currently calling for insurrection, as it were. But it's just one of those things where you could already do this. See, the Supreme Court didn't do a blanket ban on abortion. They just overturned Roe v. Wade, which means that abortion law is laws regarding abortion, I should say, are no longer federal, which means Maxine Waters, Californian representative, California can have its rules and Texas can have its rules. Now, ideally, we would end the murdering of babies in all times and all places. That would be the best thing. That'd be the perfect thing. But we currently don't have that, so we're going to have some places that permit the murdering of babies and some places that don't permit the murdering of babies. But that's not good. That's not good enough. The entire country has to permit the murdering of babies. But anyway, let's also continue with this. Some women. I'm going to do that in air quotes here, because I think they're just robots. Are let's just hear them.
1-year-old. And I know what that means financially.
Here, let me hit refresh so that starts from the
or
beginning.
during and after the child.
And I am not anybody to tell you what you need to do with your life or with your uterus. And because I have a family with a lot of special needs kids. I have a brother who's 57 and has the mental and motor skills of a 1-year-old. And I know what that means financially, emotionally, physically for a family. And I know not all families can do it.
Yikes.
I have a granddaughter who was born with Down syndrome. And you know what?
Yikes.
It is very difficult in Florida to get services. It is not as easy as it sounds on paper. And I've got another step-grand.
She continues, but what she's essentially arguing here is that if your children, if the children that are born, the babies, if they're not born the Ubermensch, right? If they're not born absolutely perfect, then you should just kill them. You should just take some tongs, separate their limbs, crush their skull, then take a vacuum and suckle out all the blood and blood, guts, and bone and blood, guts, brain, gray matter, bone marrow. Suck it out with vacuum, because because you don't want to have children that have a disability, would you? Like, that's gross, but for whatever reason, the Attorney General and the Department of Justice, by extension, are strongly disagreeing with the decision of the Supreme Court. This is not their role. This is actually rather unprecedented. I believe they did the same thing when the Supreme Court upheld the constitutional rights for citizens of New York State. And what's essentially going on here is something that shouldn't ever happen, right? The Supreme Court interprets the law, and the Department of Justice supposedly is an instrument for which we enforce the law. And so this is not supposed to happen, but it is happening, and it's going to keep happening. And I'm going to end on this really quick. This is a part of a letter to the editor. I forget where I saw this, but I grabbed this. But it's basically something about some like the leftist great replacement theory. And then on one of the bottom parts of the letter to the editor, it says this. The proof that liberal elites do not want to replace whites with non-whites is that progressives are pro-choice on abortion. The abortion rates for Black women are several times higher than for whites. Minorities are far more likely to vote for Democrats. For decades, abortions have disproportionately deprived the Democrat Party of millions of potential Black voters. If liberal elites really wanted to advance the great replacement theory and replace white voters with Black ones, they would have never been pro-choice. Which, big yikes right there. We got some casual genocidals. We got some casual genocidals and stuff right now, because of course we do. Just some leftists and saying the quiet part out loud. God, I hate doing live shows. This is stressful. Joining me is a bunch of people who will randomly come in and out. We have a I'm gonna call you Nidavalier, because I just feel like saying that, even though it says something completely different. So Nidavalier, who are you? What do you do? And do you agree with me that the hoes are in fact mad that they cannot continue genociding Black people? Apparently,
the hoes are so mad today, so unfathomably mad. You can't even begin to tell just how mad they really are. The night of rage is coming. We should be very wary. But I am Nephilim. I'm the leader of Avenging America, a band. You can just call me Jake if that's a little too hard to pronounce. I did spell it a little weird, so fair enough. But yeah, hoes mad.
Yeah. So stay out of cities, because leftists feel like violently pillaging working class communities this weekend in their night of rage for the end of the death of babies unnecessarily. Because, well, as that one guy put it on that letter to the editor, jeez, I cannot believe. Because here's the thing about that, right? Someone had to write that down and submit it to the to the New York Times. And then
Mhm.
someone from the New York Times read that and was like, this is great. This is fantastic. Let me put it on to one of our top 5 slots for the letters of the editor.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
How does
geez.
that get approved? You know, it's like,
Well, presumably because there were worse things than that, I guess.
yeah, if there was anything worse, it probably got taken out. You know, he threw in a couple N words, maybe. Who knows?
It's no. See, progressives, they get the pass. They get the N-word pass automatically because they're some white saviors, as it were.
They're
White
for the
saviors get
cause.
they get the N-word pass, man. You
Of
know,
course they do.
they do hard, grueling labor of posting black squares on their Instagram story. You know, they
It's
do the
really
hard
tough, you
labor.
know. You got to
Yeah,
like copy the JPEG,
I
paste it, and then
know,
like
right?
size it up with your fingers. It's tough.
Mm. Yeah. Or you can just put your thumb over the over the camera.
See, I
Uh,
didn't even think of that. I'm not as progressive as you are, apparently.
no. But that was my criticism. I thought that's what people were doing. I'm like, they're just covering up the camera so it doesn't see the light, and then taking a screenshot. Are you kidding me? This is activism. Pff. Oh please,
Hmm.
let me write a treatise.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the Yeah. So in the thumbnail, I did I referenced the 20 the acts of vandalism seem to be separate from the 20 pro life centers that have been firebombed
Hmm.
because Republicans are worse than ISIS, which is why Republican centers get firebombed 20 times in less than a month. So
Hmm.
yikes. And that's part of the crazy part. In the thumbnail, you will see the text. I already covered this. As always with the Trevor report, all previous Trevor reports linked down below in the description with your choice of player from BitChute. If God forbid you like BitChute, I don't know why people do, but there are some people who do, and more power to you, I guess. But I don't. I have the Odysee player, which I prefer, and I also have the Library of Alexandria linked down below over on theacropolisnews.com. It's all previous Trevor reports, ANN articles, and other posts from Acropolis affiliates. So why not check that out? But anyway, long story short, I covered this in a previous Trevor report. The pro-life centers being firebombed, but now it seems that the Catholic Church is going to be firebombed, and it's been announced by the FBI. And one thing though, between Maxine Waters and Obama and celebrities and Alexandria Ocasio-Robespierre and everyone on the street who are basically openly advocating to violently pillage working class communities over the not even end to the minor reduction in the mass debt genocide of babies. They've what about, can we get a June 24th commission? Because this is an insurrection. AOC clearly called for insurrection. That a lady
Hmm.
on the View. Wait, no, CNN doesn't have the View. Whatever. Leftist women are all basically the same person to me. But oh, that's gonna get clipped.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
whatever.
no,
No,
you're
but
getting it out of context account pretty
it's
soon.
gonna get, not only is it gonna get clipped, the middle part where I said leftist, right? It's just gonna get clipped, where it's like all women are the same to me.
Yeah. Oh no, it's gonna be awful.
Me saying it right there. That's the part that's gonna get clipped. But
Hmm.
what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, that lady on the View. I'm just gonna call it the View. Whatever. It's a bunch of leftist women on a panel. Like, it's the View, where she was like, I can't, I like my mother gave birth to a child with Down syndrome, And like, that's not the Ubermensch and stuff, man. You know, she should have just gotten rid of. She just should have just gotten rid of her Untermensch baby.
Yeah, it's so
Gee.
appalling.
God, oof. I'm gonna say this as an atheist. That is a very unholy thing to say. That's. I'm just gonna fully recognize that as this. Yikes, big yikes. So, so we have the calls for genocide, the calls for insurrection, the calls to violently pillage working class communities. Again, a 24th commission. Do you think we're going to get a June 24th commission, Nitava Frabelar? Do you think we're going to get that? Yes or no?
I don't think we're going to get one, but I do think we're going to need one.
It does die in darkness.
Some would say democracy doesn't work, you know.
Yeah, democracy is cringe, Aristotle.
Yeah, I know a certain somebody who said that. Mr. John Doyle.
Also Aristotle.
That's true. He did say democracy is cringe.
Yeah,
he actually did say that.
Monarchies and republics, best form of government.
Real.
It's too bad a Republican monarchy can't be a thing, because then we could have the Hegelian synthesis, and then leftists wouldn't be able to complain about it because it's material at that point.
Yeah.
Can there be a material monarchy? Oh well. Don't think so.
I doubt.
Yeah.
But
so we're waiting for some other people. It says someone's. Oh, okay. We're waiting for a few other people to join. Senior Filth from Sonic Boom Studios, one of my Acropolis, or one of A&N's Acropolis, whatever. I'm the only guy who runs it. It's I don't know which tense to use. I'm not being egotistical. I just don't know what's going on. It's like seeing one of these sexually. It's like walking past a pro-abortion rally and seeing all of these sexually homogenous blobs of skin and dyed hair, and then you're like, okay, is that puppy self? Is that snake helicopter kin or whatever? It's just like,
you just don't know what to call it.
I don't know which tense to use. I don't know which pronouns.
Yeah,
they're purposefully being Gramscian right there. But so yeah, that's kind of the thing. And then I got on Andres over from the Andres Segovia show, which is over on the Acropolis News Network and on your Choice of Liberty platform as well, and over on the his own website, theandressegovia.com. Check him out. He's a really cool dude. And unlike me, he posts political stuff sometimes, and most of the time it's mainly just real estate and tech stuff, you know. So do check him out. But when he does post some political stuff, it is a nice neutral Christian take. Like, it's not on any of the extremities, which is always nice to have. And Senior Filth is a liberal that has been left behind by leftists masquerading as liberals. So yeah, check him out.
Yeah.
Look, we still got some time. Let me see if they're rioting it. I'm gonna type in riots in my browser.
They might be.
Oh, well, I got riot games. Whatever. Let me do Supreme Court riots. Are there already riots? Riot police have been deployed 23 minutes ago from the Telegraph.
Wow. Yeah.
I think they're getting ready for it. By the way, Jan 6 was an unsuccessful riot, and that's how you know that it was the voice of the unheard, as leftists like to refer to as riots when it benefits them. But successful riots, like the riots in pursuit of racial power in 2020, that was where the death of a drug addict was used as a catalyst for that racial power. we had riots in pursuit of racial power, and they were successful riots, and they were successful because they were the voices of the establishment. What's going on now is we are going to have a series of successful riots because they are the voices of the establishment, because we cannot have equal justice under the law with our betters. See, they're the good people who believe all the good things for all the good reasons. You know, murdering babies. There must be a good reason to murder your baby. How could there not be a good reason to murder your baby? What if your baby has Down syndrome and, as a consequence, becomes the Untermensch? Jeez.
Man, these people are terrible, and they know it. The ones in power know that they're evil, and they're using this to benefit them in worldly ways. Spiritually, they're very ill. And if they're not atheists, they sure do believe in God, but they reject him, they hate him, and embrace Satan.
That's a based Christian take. As an
It would be.
atheist, I'm gonna have to agree with that one, and I'm not kidding. That's not a joke.
Yeah, even if they don't believe in God, they still reject gospel. They reject God as the cultural dogma of him stands.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me take a look at the Odysee chat real quick. Oh, the Odysee chat's frozen. I hate when that happens. This is what I get for using a phone.
Unfortunate.
I wonder if I can't see the chat because I'm not logged in. No, that's stupid. That shouldn't be the case. So I guess I'll just read this thing from the Telegraph. If you're watching this, you may as well leave a comment. We're going to be live for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Let me read this from the Telegraph. Roe v. Wade overturned. Live riot police deployed as hundreds of protesters descend on Supreme Court. Descend because they're an invading army.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it says
Quite
descend.
literally.
Like, you know, they're the American and British troops have just descended onto the beaches of Normandy. You know,
Exactly.
Washington, D.C. has mobilized its entire police force as hundreds of people descend on the Supreme Court following the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Protesters in full riot gear have sealed the perimeter of the building in case of any trouble, but there have not been any incidents reported so far. Basically, they know that if there is a successful riot, it means that the Democrats aren't going to get elected.
Mm-hmm.
They're already not going to get elected, but if leftists riot because the murdering of babies has not been stopped but reduced, then the Democrats will never win an election for presumably the next election cycle. But I understand that people's political memories are that of goldfish. So
It's true.
yeah.
But hopefully they're afraid because it is this close to election season right now, at least local elections, statewide.
And is that a Crusader mask in the background? I just noticed that.
That is. I got it. It's mirrored. That's a Crusader helmet right there. Yeah.
Oh shoot, mine's mirrored. I needed to turn that.
No, I can see your. I can read your logo up there. So you're
I don't
good.
know. It actually has the logo on there, but the thing is, I'm using a television as my monitor.
Oh yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I used to have this dual monitor setup, but my L-shaped desk came apart. The L part of the L-shaped desk when I brought it in, because the top part is made out of really, really good wood, but all the support beams and like all the things that hold it together aren't. So when I brought it in here, even though I brought it in like in parts, the wood split when I unscrewed it, not screwed it in, unscrewed it. So like the wood must have half split when I put it together the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a whole nightmare, and it kind of ruined how I was gonna do my thing with this
Yeah.
room. I was gonna have it set up so that my piano, what that I have back there, was gonna be in the closet, in between my two guitars, and the L-shaped desk or whatever, and then that would have gone to the thing, and then my ring light would have been reflected onto the mirror, acting as a third ring light or whatever. It would have been really really cool, but then my desk broke, so I had to do something else.
Mm.
you know,
Yeah. Well.
it's the way it is.
Mhm.
Oh God, I just realized I did the soy pointing in the corner thing. Oh God. I'm doing
Yeah.
so many things. I'm doing so many things that are gonna get clipped. Jeez.
I've done that many a
Please,
times
please don't
before.
clip this, and also don't take the me begging you not to as an endorsement of you doing this, internet, because I'm not being ironic or serious, and I'm not being serious and I'm not being ironic. So basically, by the rules and laws of the internet, you therefore can't.
Mhm.
Pretty please with the cherry on top. Uh, I hope that works. I really hope
Yeah,
so.
you'll have to see. You'll have to see. At some point, you
Yeah.
can't stop it.
Well, at least I could take solace in the fact that I will never advocate for child porn, unlike Vosh. So
Yeah.
there's
Mhm.
that. At least that will never happen to me.
Yeah, at least when we get memed on, it's funny and it's not
Yeah.
just us saying horrible, horrible things.
Oh, did you see that Washington Post article that was basically like Tucker Carlson has said a bunch of anti-democracy things? Here's all the anti-democracy things that he's said this past year, and it's just it's just like a clip after clip of a bunch of base takes on like, and then he's like, he keeps saying they, but who are they? And then the clips are basically like, so Nancy Pelosi did this specific thing, and that's a bad thing. And it just goes on over and over and over again. Tucker Carlson is just being so vague, and he's being vague because he's trying to incite an insurrection. And then the next clip is like, this specific politician who did this specific thing for this specific reason is specifically bad for this specific reason.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
hate the Washington Post so much.
modern
What a
journalism.
terrible institution. My God. Ugh.
Mhm.
Mm.
It's such a joke.
Yeah. So we got some more time to kill. I believe Senior Filth from Sonic Boom Studios will be joining us pretty soon. He's pretty soon, and so why don't you tell us more about your song and the kinds of music you and your band are going to be making? Because I listened to your song while we were chatting up before, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. So just to quickly go over it, our band's Avenging America. It's comprised of a couple of people. I'm the owner of it, I guess. There's no like official title. In my Instagram bio, I just have it as CEO because it's funny. But
I used to refer to myself as CEO as well.
yeah, but basically with Trilogy, that is a cover song that all of the instrumentation we did ourselves. I'm doing the vocals, some like most of the screams, some of the cleans.
Ooh,
hmm Oh yeah, no, I've got the voice for it.
yeah. Give us a fry. Do it.
Well, I'm not
You're not
warmed up, but I can try. It won't be as good, but like
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
If you only
All
want
right,
to send
cool.
your best, if you only want to send your best, I totally get it.
Yeah. But as for what we've got cooking up, we're I guess I don't know. This is probably I could put this out publicly by now, but we're working on a concept album, hopefully, about a guy on his journey to Christ. Because our hope with the band is to, at the very least, combat negative messages in music that get. Well, not just like metal music, but modern music as a whole is just trash and propaganda, and we're trying to combat that in a way that's healthy and in what we believe as Christians is truthful. And so the concept album is inspired by C.S. Lewis's own journey to finding God, finding Christianity, and Yeah, and we've got some pretty good stuff that we're cooking up. We're pretty excited.
My uncle just dropped in America.
Yeah, I
Sprinkled
see
some America
Carlos
into
Jr.
the room.
in the background. Yeah.
Yep. This isn't sponsored. I need to move that.
Yeah, no, we or I don't know. Hey, you could you could just
gonna take the video down if they see that. So
oh yeah.
well.
You could throw some heat at them by saying they endorse this entire stream and everything we say in it.
Look, I'm not gonna. As funny as that would be, I'm not gonna do that. And it's not for me.
Yeah, no, that's it could end up being a world of hurt that you don't want to be in. But
Yeah, it would have been funny though.
It would be funny.
I'd have been sued to high heaven, but it would have been hilarious.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
That is undeniable. Let's check the YouTube chat, see if there's anything there.
I need to actually be logged in onto Odysee to see the chat, I guess.
Oh, do you? Unfortunate.
Well, that's the only thing I can explain because it keeps buffering on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't downloaded the app on my phone yet, and I don't feel like doing that. Just get it to work.
Oops. This is very polished, very professional, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I don't do live shows. I record my stuff either the morning before, but when I do, I get up at 5 a.m. so that I can get myself ready and make sure everything's in order so that I record it at 6 a.m, or I just do it the night before. I prefer to do it the night before, but if I can't, then that means I have to go to bed at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I can wake up at 5, and I could tell the difference in quality between the ones I record when I'm awake and the ones I record when I'm not very awake.
Mm-hmm.
I make less jokes when I'm tired. That's how it is. But you gotta keep the grind, and you gotta stay consistent. Once you make a schedule, you gotta stick with it, even if it sucks. But yeah. So if you're trying to engage with the chat and you're seeing about let me check Twitch real quick just to make sure everything's in order. Oh, it's just not on Twitch right now. It's just not working. All right, let me check Trevor. Oh god, it logged me out on Trovo. No, I have to log back in. All right. Okay. Yeah. My god, where the hell is it?
This is so sad.
Yeah, I know. I just don't do live shows. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, I was telling you before, I have a buddy, Sam, who does them. It's quite a lot of work.
It's just on YouTube and Odysee because I forgot to put it everywhere else. Oops. Oh, 2 places is still fine. Yeah.
Better than nothing. Oh, you could still probably upload the VOD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, everything should be in order right now. But let's see, let me check on when though. It seems Senior Filth will be coming by a bit later.
Cool.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me check on the updates. I don't like that I have to just fill time.
Yeah, if there's nothing in the chat, then
yeah,
I do have a few points that I'd like to touch on.
Yeah, totally bring them up. We got time to fill. Got about easily 20 minutes.
Cool. All right, so we have what's her face, the one lady talking about you should be able to abort children if they're like autistic or have Down syndrome or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's like, I mean, so coming from my background, I have my nephew he's high functioning autistic, but he came from being not high functioning autistic, being like practically nonverbal, to being high functioning autistic. You can't tell if that happens when you find out they have autism in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that's going to happen. There's a lot of autism that is preventable. So just because that reading comes out, even if you're like, we want like the perfect child, we want like the least amount of difficulty. You're never going to be able to tell, because I mean, in his case,
not
he's
even how children work. Children are
Yeah.
difficult to raise
Mhm.
because you're responsible for 18 years of philosophical, ideological, spiritual, if that's important to you, and like ethical. Like, you're responsible for bringing up an entire person, and you're responsible for disciplining that person when that person does immoral things.
Mhm.
And you're also responsible for feeding, clothing, and sheltering that child.
Mhm. It's a lot
And you
of
need
work.
to sacrifice some of your own time for that child, because it's for that child. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect child. That's
Mhm.
definitionally not possible.
Mhm. Yeah, you can't leave an infant out in the desert on its own and expect it to survive.
And that's also illegal.
That's all. Yeah.
Incidentally.
Well, it's illegal to do that, but it's not illegal to murder them while they're in the womb.
If you let the son perform a post-birth abortion, that's illegal. But if you let some tongs and a vacuum, or the less barbaric alternative, the barbed wire hook, where the woman just bleeds the baby out, instead of the baby being removed from all its,
It's gnarly
getting
stuff.
nom flashbacks right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but one of the things too is for the New York Times to just let that be out in the open. It's just,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what like Planned Parenthood and like abortion as a whole in America is based off of, is eugenics, is like racial cleansing.
yeah.
And I mean, that's like, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of abortion advocates don't know that. And you tell them that and they'll be like, well, it's still because their IQ is room temperature, and they're not gonna like change their mind.
And unlike abortion activists, apparently, just because your IQ is not at the average or above the average, that doesn't give us permission to murder you.
Yeah.
That if we don't have permission to do that, that's just not a good thing. That's in fact a bad thing. It's in fact a terrible thing, actually. It's a tragic thing, But one of the things too, not to draw too many comparisons with Hitler, but there are so many. I'm sure like the Holocaust also included people who were bipolar, dyslexic, like if you're in a wheelchair, Down syndrome, autism. I'm sure like all of that stuff was on there. And if you're part of the anti-science crowd, it's incidentally where vaccine technology comes from. If you if you feel like using that. Andres Segovia over from the Andres Segovia Show. I don't know why I pronounced that like an Eastern European when it's in fact Spanish, but he's joined us from the things and stuff. How are you doing with your things and stuff?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How you doing over there?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty great. We went over real opinions that people have regarding the murder of babies.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah.
So what are we doing? We're talking about the removal of the unconstitutional ruling that was Roe v. Wade, or are we celebrating?
I haven't. Well, Actually, even Ruth,
Bader Ginsburg.
yeah,
Yeah.
even she was like, this hasn't been settled properly. Like, this is a
Mhm.
stupid thing for us to do. I cannot believe we did this. Which it's
Mm-hmm.
basically like that meme where like you punch someone. This guy punches someone in the face, and then in response, like he pushes him onto the ground, and then when he's like covered in mud all over the floor, it's like, oh, why have you done this to me? It's
Mhm.
like, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Well-
yeah, incidentally, with the Hitler comparisons, Margaret Sanger received fan mail from Hitler.
Is that real?
Das Planned Parenthood is good.
See, I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. The Democrats in 20th century America were very big fans of Hitler until like all the stuff was revealed, and then they like stopped being fans of Hitler because
Mhm.
eugenics is very progressive. It's the most progressive institution ever.
Honestly, there's an argument to be made that it unironically is.
It's the longest lasting progressive institution.
It really is. It really is. Throughout history. Wow, that's
He apparently
shocking.
also the whole badges system, right?
Mm.
With like the brown Star of David patches that say like Jude or whatever on them.
Mhm.
That was inspired by the Democrat segregation. Yikes!
Yeah, just a lot of parallels that they don't teach you about in your history class.
Nope.
I wonder why.
You can actually find those fan mails on the internet, and Hitler wrote them in English.
Wow.
He wanted to be understood.
Yeah, I
His
guess so.
inspirations were- You can talk to us, filthy Yankees.
Yeah, no, I'd be a little concerned if I got fan mail from Hitler. I don't know about you guys.
Before anyone knew about Hitler, so it was okay, probably.
Oh well,
I
yeah.
guess it's something they would say.
Is that confirmed though? That's interesting. Cause we're talking about a time when.
I was able to. I looked for the fan mails stuff when I saw it. It was I first heard about it from a Dinesh D'Souza film. I believe it was called Death of the Nation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
The Death of a Nation, or something
Yeah.
like that. The play on Birth of the Nation, the
Yeah.
Ku Klux Klan film a Democrat president played in the Oval Office.
Mhm. Was that Lyndon B. Johnson who played that?
I think so. I'm drawing a blank. All Democrat presidents are effectively the same person to
Yes,
me.
exactly. Yeah. Well, we traded physical plantations for basically an ideological or mental plantation, because they've done an excellent job. The Democrats have of controlling our media and things to basically brainwash or even reprogram a lot of people that technically, like my people in the Hispanic community, should be all in support of what the Republicans do, but because they only rely basically on just one news media network, which is Univision, it's all just parrots, all this left-wing propaganda and stuff that they come to believe. It's like, so I've had arguments with some of my people. I'm like, hold on, you ran away from communism to come to the United States, so why are you voting for it? And say, no, we're not voting for communism. We're just against fascism. It's like, do you have any idea that everything that they promised you in your countries are what led to the economic ruin there are the very same things they're doing over here? They just have a fancier way of talking about it. And for some people, they really don't even understand the concept of communism itself. They think it's community. Say, no, it's meant that everybody is common, where everyone's equal and things like that. So it's a lot of low information, misinformation, uninformation, or whatever, and it's really sad to see. That's kind of what goes along the lines of what's happened today, where there are people that don't even understand exactly what just transpired, because like, oh, the women's rights are set back. Like, well, first off, this wasn't codified in the Constitution, so therefore, initially
woman's
Roe
right
versus
to
Wade
do
wasn't even
Like,
constitutional.
Yeah.
And then these same people, they can't even define a woman. So depending on what time you ask them, it's like,
well,
so wait, who's being
Andres,
harmed
I
here?
think you're just being a far right insurrectionary reactionary bigot. You see, a woman is anyone who defines themselves as a woman, and
Yeah,
a
but what is
woman
that?
is anyone who
What
defines
is that
themselves
thing they're
as a
trying to
woman.
define?
And a woman.
Well, yeah, see, I think you're both overcomplicating this. I would define women as hoes. And they are all mad. Like that's just as simple as it gets.
Yeah. You could also just go with adult human female. That's the norm, literally everywhere on the planet for all.
Yeah, hoes. No. Oh man,
Oh,
that's gonna
geez.
get. Oh yeah,
That's
that's
definitely
over.
a take you could as a Gen Z. But it's the weird thing though, where this is where I might be so big brain I sound dumb, but like, so the fascists, which is a part of the Hegelian dialectic, they had a genocide. Communism, like in the style of the oh shoot, someone else wants to join. Let me do this right here while talking, because I'm of course a professional. But the fascists were part of the Hegelian dialectic, and they engage in like a lot of the genocides and stuff, man. The communists try to engage in a lot of like the genocides and stuff, man. The socialists try to engage in like the genocides and stuff, man. And American leftists, or socialist, communist, fascists, they're doing abortion, which is institutionalized murder, or genocide. So it just seems to me that the Enlightenment is just responsive. It just sort of seems like, depending on which enlightened country you're in, just sort of is the one country where you just where certain segments of the population, the midwits, as it were, just defend defend their genocide as being good. Basically, is what it seems like to me. Is that me being so big brain I sound dumb, or is that fair?
I'd say that's pretty fair. I think that throughout history you can look at large genocides that are frowned upon now widely, and you can go back, and if you can dig up propaganda, old like posters, newsletters, anything, it's all like, we must genocide these people, to go back to, of course, comparisons to Nazi Germany with the Holocaust. It's first you dehumanize, you give people a reason to hate, then you dehumanize, and then you genocide them because they're a problem that needs to be dealt with.
I concur.
Yeah. So one of the things too is BZ is in the house. BZ Tollinger, the guy who
Let's
created
go.
Splat Rabbit comic, the guy who heads Splat Rabbit Comics. Yeah, got a wee bit of a round table. Why don't you introduce yourself? Maybe plug a few things that you want to plug. And Andres, why don't you plug a few things if you feel like plugging them in?
I'll go after.
That's what this is for.
Well, I am BZ Tollinger. I draw the rabbit. Check it out. It's a pretty cool comic.
It's a bit of an understatement, but yeah, he does draw a rabbit. He draws these sort of old school cartoons that are like pre-switched to flash animation, kind of like late 90s, early 2000s. And it's his comic where this rabbit, kind of like a Bugs Bunny esque character, talks to the hose about things, and he wins because he's just correct, because everyone else is a hoe.
So bad.
Yeah, well, because he's correct, and there's certain instances where he may use firearms or sticks of lit dynamite.
Every so
You know,
often.
just
We don't condone
general
violence.
antics. Yeah.
So yeah, check it out on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
What's your Instagram handle?
That's going to be at splat.rabbit.art. You could also follow my personal at BZ Tollinger all together. So
Let me,
Twitter
let me
as
turn you
well.
up a little bit. You're a little low. There we go.
I was trying to
Yeah.
adjust my mic too.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can boost up everyone's volume from right here. How do I sound? Scale of
You
1 to
sound
10.
great.
Good. Sound good to
You're the
me.
My
host. You have to
phone's
sound
at
great.
5%, and the Odysee chat is still buffering. I have no idea if anyone's saying anything on Odysee. So, oh well. There might be a nuclear explosion or something because it's just that kind of day, or I guess that kind of weekend. So I'm gonna save the rest of the power on my phone, I guess, in
Yeah.
case something. Oh God! As soon as I put it in my pocket, someone starts texting me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
All right, Senior Phil from Sonic Boom Studios will be joining us in a moment. So while we got some extra time left, I'll dedicate the next half an hour or so to segment 2. Segment 2 of the Trevor Report is sponsored by NordVPN. Click the affiliate link down below in the description to experience one of the best VPNs out there on the market. And I definitely did not get it for the meme. It has a wide listing range of features. And if you already have a VPN, well, you know what? I'm poor and I need monies, and 2 VPNs are always better than 1. And if you already have 2 VPNs and one of them isn't NordVPN, just give yourself a third VPN. It's a third layer of protection. It's a third warrant the government has to get for when they try to seize your communications for advocating for the wrong politics. So it's always good. It's always a good thing to check out. And yeah, please, I need monies. I can't be poor. I can't be poor right now. I like steak too much. I'm on a paleo diet. I need steak. Yeah, but as it were. And you can also check out theacropolisnews.com/products, where you can purchase a premium subscription. I'm about to, by the end of the week, I'm going to be releasing I'm going to be starting as a part of my aesthetic series, an overview of Attack on Titan. And part 1 is going to be what the Titans represent, because I do think that at least spoiler alert for Attack on Titan, I guess the pure Titans, as it were, it's going to be very spoiler heavy, so I could talk about it freely. They seem to represent biblical morality, or more specifically, what a human being looks like without knowledge of good or evil. They just roam the world, eating everything and terrifying people who do have knowledge of good and evil. Seems they just run around the planet eating without a care in the world. In fact, they'll eat people who are riling in agony with a smile on their face because they have no knowledge of good or evil. Yeah,
Interesting hot take.
Yeah, interesting take.
Yeah.
Well,
Second one is going to be how Eren Yeager is a perfect embodiment of Jean-Jacques Rousseau's Savage, in that he is an arrogant, egotistical, genocidal maniac. And that makes him the perfect embodiment of Jean-Jacques Rousseau's Savage. And Senior Filth from Sonic Boom Studios joins us with his...
Senor!
Hello.
Fedora?
I am Senor Filth.
I wasn't
How you guys
expecting a
doing?
fedora, but
I figured you were
I'm wearing
probably
a cowboy
yours.
hat. I don't have a right to complain about a fedora. You know,
Yeah.
I have more shade than you.
Yeah.
So ha.
I saw you were wearing yours, so might as well kind of join in. You know.
Yeah. Is anyone in the chat? And Senior Filth, do you want to plug anything?
I guess my show, the Critical Introverts podcast, my big cartel store. I'm having some shirts. They were just made today, so I'm gonna have them for sale soon. Maybe by next week. An Evil Dead keep
Oh my
on
god, I
trucking.
can see the
type
chat
of
through
shirt.
Restream. Oh
And,
my god, I can see the
yeah.
chat through Restream.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Aaron Jacob says,
Hey
chat says hi.
Aaron.
Aaron Jacob and the other viewers on YouTube and the other viewers on Odysee that I can't. Oh my god, I'm logged in on my computer. I'm such a boomer. I've been waiting for the chat to load on Odysee for like on my phone for like 20 minutes. Not to rag on Odysee. Odyssee's a great platform. It's just sometimes, man. There is no chat. Never mind. All right, whatever. Because no one chats on Odysee. And Andres Segovia from the Andres Segovia Show is showing his face.
Yeah, sorry, I was driving. Shouldn't do that while I'm
Yeah.
driving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, what's happened, everyone? I see some familiar faces and others that I don't recognize. So, greetings to all.
Hello.
And,
this is going to be a very there's going to be more people, but it's going to be a very similar panel to an episode of the American Gracchus podcast, which requires a premium subscription. That's going to be happening at the end of the month, where I lay out the framework of who I think the Antichrist is.
Interesting.
An atheist explains to a bunch of Christians who he thinks the Antichrist is, or something along the lines with that title. I haven't fully worked it out yet.
so anything new happened in the news or anything? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No,
You
nothing.
guys hear
Nothing
anything
of
today?
significant importance happened.
Pretty slow news day, guys.
Yeah.
Did you hear about like Mariah Carey and all that stuff? With
Wait,
her?
she's still around?
I have no idea.
I don't know who that is.
She's some chick.
I'm not being facetious.
Some
I
chick.
genuinely don't know.
So what's going on?
Apparently,
Well,
Aaron Jacob is Natava Frabelar's #1 fan.
Yo, I mean, this is true. I've known him for a long time. Good friend of. I was about to say good friend of the show. I don't have a show yet. but
I'm
yeah.
telling you, dude, make a podcast.
I'm working on it.
It's fun once you.
Yeah, you might be the last one without a podcast.
Well, BG, you don't have one either.
I don't
Right?
think BZ
I don't have
has
one. Not official.
You don't have one either.
Well, hey,
Oh,
BZ,
well.
we could start one. How about that? That'd be kind of big.
It could be.
Yeah,
You
could
can
be.
call yourself. You can call it chartists, Christian artists, chartists.
Yeah.
Artist
But
podcast.
that's if you say it too fast, it sounds like shartists.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I was thinking that.
We got
Yeah.
drafts.
yeah. No, we'll probably. I don't know. We'll throw that in the hat of all the other names. We'll figure it out.
How do you pronounce the name? Is it Nephilim?
Why is Jake
Nephilim.
such a
Nephilim,
sexy Aryan Chad? Says Franco.
Good Lord, Franco.
Usually when I wear
there's some questions that we
the
just don't
cowboy
have
hat, there are
answers to.
people in the comment sections, men calling me daddy.
Yeah.
It's happened a few times. I'm glad that's not happening right now
Mm.
because please don't call me daddy. I don't like it.
Are you even old enough to be a dad, dude?
I'm 20. If I had
I mean, you're old enough to have a kid at any point. I mean, that's why
I'm
all these
fertile.
girls in college
I'm fertile. Oh man.
Well, Trevor, if you don't mind, I didn't get a chance to plug in my stuff. So if I could, just because I have a few minutes here, it's technically my wife's birthday, and she couldn't get a better birthday gift than the news that came down the pipeline. Because
reduction of the mass genocide of babies, not a complete and total end.
Yeah.
We'll try it eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
A slight reduction is
Chat
good
is
enough,
going
I
on.
guess, for now.
Jacob, you got some explaining to do.
I don't because I did not.
You forgot your shorts at my house last.
See, this
That's
is
probably taken way out of context.
no, I wasn't even at his house. There's nothing there.
With that mustache, are you guys filming something? Or?
See, I get that a lot. I do.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, as to why I'm such a sexy Aryan Chad, it's because I have all these filters on. If I take them off, I actually look like this.
Oh, happy. Did he fall out of his chair? Oh no.
Oy vey.
Oh, you just didn't want to look,
Oy
you just didn't
vey.
want to look at that Christian demon.
Oh yeah, no. I think I might need an exorcism here. I'd have to call
What
Franco.
were you,
He's the
plugging?
Catholic.
I think it got cut off.
Yeah, address is
Oh, yeah.
not plug. Yeah.
Sorry, I got us off topic.
No, no problem. I don't know if I'm coming through just fine, but for anybody interested in checking out my stuff, theandresegovia.com, anything and everything about me, follow me across the socials at theandresegovia. I'm a real estate broker, talking tech, real estate, and, well, just about everything over coffee now, just because everything's going to the crapper. So besides that, my Save California series begins next week. It got moved up, so that's why I shuffled the schedule. The first up is the Howard Jervis Taxpayer Association. They're on my program, so if anyone interested in checking out what's going on in the pipeline, what we can do about it to save our property rights, to save on our taxes, take back fiscal responsibility and hold our state legislator accountable, then they can start tuning in starting next week just for that. So follow me across everything.
Nice.
Very cool.
Genuinely, if you're going to look into like his content and his socials, to just go on his website, because he's legit on like 90 platforms.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how you manage it, but
You gotta
I
make
didn't-
yourself uncancelable, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm fine with 15 social media. I'm fine with 15. It's good enough for me.
Yeah, it is interesting though to see how the algorithm's been working lately. Senior Filth is on. He was actually on my. I think the episode debuted this week. I'm like so disoriented with my schedule right now. But
Yeah, me
YouTube, as Trevor knows, it's been shadow banned and throttled so heavily over the past year. But
ANN on YouTube has been shadow banned immediately. Didn't even get to do anything with it. So.
Yeah. So when it comes to like, I'm on this other platform called UMaker also. It's been trending a lot more. And Gap TV, I've had to post it up late because Gap TV was having server side issues, but I finally got it up there too, and it's finally picking up some traction too. But at least UMaker, I'm about to hit finally on an episode, an obscure platform, 1,000 views, and I'm excited about that. Like, finally, dude, it just took a while, but it requires legwork. And while I'm on a bunch of other video platforms, I literally only upload to 3, and YouTube does the rest, because a lot of these other platforms have like an auto direct or feed from YouTube, so it picks up the videos from there.
I manually upload to 5 places every 2 days, or on from Friday to Monday. That's every 3 days. But like,
Jesus,
it's
exhausting.
It is very exhausting. But I get to say what I want. I get to speak my mind. I can say the things that need to be said. While I'm at it, the petrodollar and the 1914 Federal Reserve Act, and that's why we bomb kids in the Middle East. Anyway, I had to get that out of the way. I say that basically all the time. Like even when it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, it just needs to be said as many times as possible.
maybe those kids deserved it though. You know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just.
Well, according to our betters, they're brown.
This is my cue to drop off.
Beezy, that wasn't a racism. I'm also a lesser along with you, right? Because I'm not part of the Uniparty, so I'm part. I'm one of the
At
lessers.
this point, like, there's not a racial joke under the sun that can offend me. I've been around a lot, and so many.
Once you've been called an N-word Jew more than once, it just doesn't bother you anymore.
Exactly.
A nigger Jew?
Oh Jesus!
Ooh.
Did we just get deplatformed, all of us?
Destigmatization.
It's so over.
Destigmatization is the way forward.
It's so over.
Like, but did they? And how does that
Well,
work?
you might
not
not keep
expecting you to-
saying stuff like that, but you know.
Yeah, there's certain things you can't
I'm
say
not
on
offended.
certain
I'm just really
platforms.
surprised.
Yeah, no. That's just
I was not expecting that.
But is that a black man who's a Jewish person or a Jewish person
I
that
don't know. I
don't
didn't
get
feel
it.
like deciphering it.
Like the black Hebrew Israelites?
I don't know.
I like that.
I,
That's
know-
good.
I,
Yeah.
I saw this clip where the black Hebrew Israelites just took to the streets of New York and were like, Hitler did nothing wrong. And then when a bunch of people were like, yo, what? They were like, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, dude, the one video of like watching them that I love is like
Same.
they made like this Jewish guy cry. He's like they're like Hitler was right, and then he's like, you can't mean that, and then like the camera goes back to him, and he's like, he was right, and then it goes right back to him, and he's like actually at tears. It's such like a tonal switch. He's like, you can't mean that.
I think that might be the clip that I saw. But
Oh, it's so
according
good.
to Supreme Court justice that's about to be confirmed, the black Hebrew Israelites are just harmless vegans who enjoy dieting.
Yeah, they sure do enjoy dieting.
Well,
Aaron
guys,
Jacobs
unfortunately,
says-
my time is up.
says
I have to drop off.
Babalar, Sigma
That's
Male
it.
Energy
Go
is
Sevens.
taking over the Discord.
Good to meet you guys, and I'll see the other two around more often. But hey, I'll
See you
connect
later.
with some of you guys on Instagram. I
See you
didn't get
later,
the.
later on, Jess.
was
I
it to
might
the
want
Jake?
to, invite you for
Yeah.
part 2 of a series this month. I'll tell you the details about it later.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the stream.
Yeah,
All right.
peace out.
Enjoy your wife. All right, there we go.
That sounds a little odd.
Yeah,
I didn't
enjoy banging
it's
her.
it's not me saying the N word as a white person on a live broadcast. So
Yeah.
it's okay. We've crossed we've officially crossed into the Rubicon, and the only thing
about-
left is
How about
is the Senate.
everyone? How about everyone down the line just say nigger Jew? I said it twice. So anyone else want to say it?
How is
Easy.
it
Not really.
No? Oh, you pussies.
How much to wear my mustache for your Halloween costume?
Okay, charge $50 per individual hair. No,
Yeah.
sorry, 1,000 per hair.
Yeah, what do you think I am? Some kind of common street whore? Like at least 1,000.
I'm gonna cut the final half hour when I put it everywhere else
Yeah.
for no particular reason. No particular reason.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Aaron Jacobs said before he said that I have an addiction to the Bible, and I'm gonna be honest. I have an addiction to like books in general. You know, like the books to me are like Oreo cookies, right? Like or I see Oreo cookies, I just grab a handful of Oreo cookies and put it in a bowl and then walk into my room. And then when it comes to books, I read for 2 hours and I'm like, oh God, I've been reading for 2 hours. And then I do the things that I need to do. You know, it's why I'm not going to drink alcohol or smoke cigarettes or do any of that. No, we're not playing Among Us. Bugger off.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Let the game die. The game's dead. But yeah, that's the one thing out of all the Aristotelian virtues, that's the one thing I can't seem to do, which is practice moderation. You know?
Yeah, conquering oneself is a hard battle.
Yeah. You know, but at least I stick to my diet and workout.
That's very
good start.
important.
It's a good
Very,
start.
very important.
More than
I've been
most.
getting into the gym a lot more lately. Like
Seems
just
like
being
every
physically
guy
active
just got
is
into the
incredibly
gym.
important. Well, I
Like,
mean, you
it's
kind of
really-
have to, right?
Right.
You kind of have to. Like the fact that we weren't,
Yeah.
it's shocking.
And the thing is, I've been getting so much gains, and I've literally the past few weeks, or I guess since school ended, I've just been doing push-ups, sit-ups, flutters, and squats every for 2 days out of the week. About a 20-minute workout 2 days out of the week. And I've actually been gaining muscle doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you would call newbie gains.
Yeah.
They're very motivating, very. But yeah, there's I had another point that I wanted to touch on with the brand new Summer of Love that's going to happen. I don't know if we
Hide
want
your
to.
kids, hide your wife, move out of the city. We need more than white flight. We need black flight. We need Asian flight. We need Mexican flight. Everyone needs to get out of the cities because the cities are going to be turned into candles.
Yeah, no.
They're just not going to be a thing. You don't need God to pull a Sodom and Gomorrah because it seems leftists will just do it for them.
Do it for us.
Yeah, it seems so, but there's absolutely parallels with the Summer of Love and a certain drug addict with a certain counterfeit $20 bill. Those riots that went on. There's absolutely parallels there with and there's a point here to be made with how much animosity the left had towards Kyle Rittenhouse is because they desperately do not want people to go out and defend their land, essentially. They don't want people to scare them away.
Or themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's my body, my choice, which means I can beat you to death with my skateboard and then have my friend pull a gun on you. And if you defend yourself, well, you're violating my right to choose. Perhaps a bit facetious, but yeah.
You're saying it as a joke, but there's like a whole like subsection on Twitter that's like literally that. Now they might not say it in plain words, but that at the end of the day, that's what they mean.
I'm so glad I don't have Twitter. I'm so glad.
Thoughts
on the basis for the 14th Amendment and the understanding of due process. I am a Lockean constitutionalist. Locke is the only Enlightenment philosopher I consider legitimate, just in general. The Hobbes, I guess, has some sane takes, I guess, but the rest of and Machiavelli has some sane takes, but like the rest of them are just, stupid. But everything in the Constitution, I like. Simple as. I like my guns. I like my government needing a warrant before they oppress me.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer if they just didn't oppress me, but at least they have to get a warrant first. I like being able to say naughty things about the government, because in other countries I can't say this. The government is terrible. The government needs to stop doing terrible things. And I can say that because I have a First Amendment right. And again, I like this. I like the Second Amendment. And currently, if I go to a constitutional carry state, which because of the Supreme Court ruling with New York, because the Supreme Court has been doing a lot of base things, every state will soon become an open carry state. And I want an RPG that fires nuclear rocket propelled grenades. Like I want each individual grenade that's in the rocket to be nuclear. And I just want it because the Constitution says I can keep and bear arms, and that shall not be infringed, and that includes the type of ammo. Because at the end of the day, if I can't use the weapon, it's an infringement on my rights for a weapon. I'm being completely serious. I'm not being facetious. There's no
for home defense
to this.
Can I say my favorite? Can I say my favorite RPG that I've ever seen in a movie? Is the movie Eraser. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Someone launches it and it opens up and like it shoots out like nails or some shit like that. It's the dopest.
Oh my god, the railgun RPGs in sci-fi are the best. They're so good. In Halo 3, there's this quad where someone on the back can fire missiles. No, it's in Halo Reach, and the guy on the back, it fires missiles, and because the developers on Halo are just so great, or I guess they used to be great. The rocket propelled turret had unlimited ammo.
Nice.
It's just Me love.
Fun
Unfortunately,
times.
I can't take like you do with all the other turrets in Halo and just remove it and then just carry it with you. Unfortunately, you can't do that. You can't take the massive infinite missile firing rig just with you. That would have made Halo Reach like literally the perfect game if you could do that. Like it already
Peak
has
male
a
fantasy
great
right there.
story, great graphics, especially for the 360. Back then, it has like graphics that are like on par with now with like the shading and stuff. Halo Reach is my favorite Halo. I must have played the campaign like 9 times. It's just I love it.
Reach was a good one. I think I like 3 a little bit more, but Reach was awesome.
How do I make my parents red pilled? When they ask you a question about politics, you respond appropriately. You just be honest with them. The worst thing you could do is lie to your family.
Yeah. Don't lie to them, but don't like delve into it so much where they think you're insane, because your parents grew up with, they didn't have any alternative media like literally this right now.
Channels owned by the same 3 people who all had this. And
yeah, it's gonna take a while for them to like understand Klaus Schwab and stuff like that. So it's a baby steps.
The World Economic Forum.
The ones that do know about Klaus Schwab, they have such weird ties to other things. I'm not going to get into the details, but they have such weird ties to these fringe things that are so surface level. So it's like they're deep, but at the same time, they haven't like breaking away from these like concepts that are so menial and so like dangerous to their way of thinking that they just end up kind of stuck too. So there's that to navigate as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of a backstory on Klaus Schwab, because we've got 9 minutes left. Trying to keep this at around an hour and a half. Klaus Schwab, born in Ravensburg, Nazi Germany. That's a real thing. Who kind of like George Soros, George Soros, who of course is a Jew who pretended to be a Catholic while a Nazi lieutenant was under his wing, and where he participated in the selling of the selling of Jewish antiquity during the Holocaust. And like he apparently watched people being loaded on trains, and his words, he felt nothing.
Ooh,
they're good buddies. They're for some mysterious reason. Klaus Schwab, who dresses like Dr. Evil, and a literal Jewish Nazi, are good buddies. And apparently, according to Aaron Jacob, Natava Frabelar, you stole his Lunchable.
This is fake news.
Tisk. That's no. See, if you want someone's Lunchable, what you do is you trade them for a peanut butter cup. Okay, that is the rule. All right. That's the rule.
Tends to be
that would make sense if you were a second grader, BZ. Don't give me that. That'd make perfect sense.
I don't know. I grew up on the public school lunches that Michelle Obama
as did I.
So I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I personally hated Lunchables when I was a kid.
School lunches are the reason I'm 5'8". This is very true. This is a fact.
I'm telling you, the milk may have been disgusting, but the kids who drink the milk when they were in school, they may have a bunch of bone problems, but they're all 6 feet.
Well, I mean,
that might just be like a calcium thing and might not have anything to do with the school milk, but like, I don't know. I hated milk. I hated cereal, and that's why I'm 5'10".
Dang.
It's still above average, but I could have been 6 foot if mom was like, drink your milk. But
you legit hated cereal? Like really?
Yeah.
All cereal?
That's
all
like
cereal.
my favorite fucking thing.
It's pure sugar, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
when I was 13, I found out all about Dr. Kellogg, and I'm like, oh my god, an excuse to not eat cereal. Thank God. You know. Yeah.
You telling me you didn't eat any Reese's Puffs? Reese's Puffs?
Dude,
I'm
Reese's
allergic to
Puffs
peanut butter,
slaps,
so
right?
I couldn't have.
You're weak.
Frosted Flakes? No. honey?
So that's why you
Fucking
traded the peanut butter cups. Is
Huh?
because you couldn't eat them.
No, I didn't have peanut butter cups. I didn't trade my lunch. Like I was in the second grade. Mommy packed my lunch. You know,
Mm.
I had a sandwich and apple slices. No one wanted that because everyone had that.
Mm. Top 3. Captain Crunch,
Top three-
Reese's
top three
Puffs.
cereals. Okay, so there's the one that gets soggy if you don't eat it in 30 seconds, and then there's the one that goes soggy if you don't eat it in 30 seconds, and then there's the one that goes soggy if you don't eat it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
very apt.
What would you get like that?
Yeah. So approaching that time, I'll go with Natava Frabilar. He could do his little outro first, and then we'll end on me, Senior Phil second. BZ goes third. Plug anything you wanna plug, chat, ask any questions, and I'll try to answer them in mine if I have time. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, I do have a YouTube channel. I have an Instagram that's at nephilim.mp3. It's spelled like that in the name. I know it's spelled weird, not how you'd actually spell it in like
It sounds German.
theology.
I wouldn't have been able to spell it properly either way.
Yeah,
So
most can't. I thought it was cool, and then it like stuck, and I can't get rid of it now. So that's just kind of where we're at. So that's the Instagram. I do have a Twitch where I stream rarely. I have a YouTube, and I'm probably going to start doing my own show, podcast, whatever on there very soon, very imminent. And you can find my band Avenging America on all platforms wherever you stream music. And we'll have more songs coming out very soon.
All right.
Based.
Fedora the Explorer, it's your turn, and you can make fun of me next. That's cool.
Okay, I'm Senor Filth. I'm the host of the Critical Introverts podcast. It's pretty much I bring on artists of all kinds, and we talk about culture war type issues, things like that, free speech. You can follow me on Instagram, Sonic Boom Studios. Let's see, I have a Big Cartel, Sonic Boom Studios, Big Cartel. If you want to see my merch, I guess that's kind of all I can think of at the moment. And,
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing at the chat.
Yeah,
which
the
is-
chat's stupid
It's
right
okay.
now.
It's
All right, I
very
guess that's it.
homoerotic.
All right, who else is next?
Easy. You can go ahead.
I am BZ Tollinger. I draw the rabbit. I'm your friendly neighborhood internet racist, homophobe, and self-hater. Check me out on Instagram at BZ Tollinger. Same ad on Twitter. I have a YouTube channel. It has nothing on it yet, but I experimented with animation here recently with my comics, so we may be getting some stuff on there. And also follow the main Instagram, Splat Rabbit Art, where you can find all the comics updates on my flagship character.
My name is Trevor Brown. I am the editor-in-chief of Acropolis News Network, the world's first fully independent media organization powered by Liberty Platforms, peer-to-peer advertising, and cryptocurrency. You can subscribe to a premium subscription for Acropolis News Network by going to theacropolisnews.com/products, where I'm working on a number of aesthetic series, one on Attack on Titan, one about how is time travel real and is it necessarily a question of science? Spoiler alert, it's not. And I did that in part one. I'm also the host of the American Garakus podcast, where each month I gather on a bunch of people from various things, and I make a bunch of neat little arguments about things. In this next upcoming one, I'm going to be going over who I think the Antichrist is, or more specifically, an atheist explaining to a bunch of Christians who he thinks the Antichrist is, and I think you might get some good use and stuff at it, and all of those things. I explained it's a lot better than it sounds. I hired people to edit the website, and I edit the website myself. It is a awesome experience, huge treasure trove of content on there that's already for free, but for the extra juicy good stuff, you got to subscribe to a subscription. And I'm going to end it there. So, yeah, goodbye. Tip my half off.